Okay, now that we know that Tyler Mahle and Luis Castillo are available in trades from the Cincinnati Reds, I have two trade proposals that I want to propose. Obviously, they're with the Yankees. And then I'm going to do this date in Yankees history and this date in non-Yankees history. So stick with me to the end. I think you're going to enjoy it. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you enjoy baseball content, particularly Yankee content, if you do, hit the like and the notification bell as well. Share this with your friends. They might enjoy some good baseball stuff. So let's get to this. Okay, and first and foremost, too, I know a lot of folks want Joey Gallo gone. Personally, I don't think he's a fit with what Cincinnati's trying to do. They're clearly trying to clean house and shed payroll. So as much as a lot of folks want Joey Gallo gone, it's probably other teams that will represent a better fit. I don't think they're going to want to assume the rest of his $10 million salary to just offset salary. It just doesn't make any sense for the Reds. So I have Miguel Andujar as one of the lead pieces in both of my trades. And I'll get to it. So here's trade number one. Okay, the Cincinnati Reds would acquire Miguel Andujar, who's not a free agent until 2025. Remember, his positional versatility, he just doesn't have a fit here. I mean, he just doesn't have a roster spot here or position to play here. So, but he can play infield, outfield, DH. Not the best fielder, obviously, but he's got a good bat. So he could be a good young controllable piece for the Cincinnati Reds. So it'd be Miguel Andujar and Yoendris Gomez, who's their number 9 prospect, a left-handed pitcher, and Brock Selvage, who's their number 15 prospect, a left-handed pitcher. So Gomez is a right-handed pitcher. Selvage is a left-handed pitcher. So those three guys, all controllable players, would go to Cincinnati in exchange for Tyler Mahle, who's not a free agent until 2024. So keep in mind, too, there are some pitchers who could probably get, like a Frankie Montes would get a bigger package, basically because he's been healthier, but her stats are more robust than these guys. So this, to me, seems like a reasonable package for a Tyler Mahle. He's 28 now. He'll be a free agent at the age of 30. So, but again, 3 controllable players. It might cost a little more, but this, to me, is a fair representative package for Mahle. So that's trade one. Now, my second trade includes Luis Castillo. All right. Miguel Andujar would also be headlining that trade over to Cincinnati, as well as Luis Hill, okay, who's their number 10 prospect, who's got lots of controllable years, obviously, and Alexander Vargas, who's their number 11 prospect, number 17, a shortstop. Those 3 guys would go to Cincinnati in exchange for Luis Castillo, who's 29 right now, won't be a free agent until 31, until when he's in 2024. So they both have the same arbitration length left. They're both free agents in 2024. But I think Luis Castillo seems to be a little bit more of the premier name, so the Yankees would have to fork up probably a higher end prospect like a Luis Hill or somebody who's already shown it at the major league levels. Even though he's struggling right now at the minors, this would be representative of a fair package, in my opinion, to Cincinnati for Luis Castillo. So, and either one of these guys, and I've said this for like a year now, I think it'd be a wise idea for the Yankees to invest in another starting pitcher. Okay, couple of reasons. One, Nestor Cortes, while he's fantastic, he hasn't thrown more than 110 innings. So at some point, the rule of thumb generally in the minors is don't increase by more than 40 innings per year. We can't expect him to throw $175 this year. We can't expect Luis Severino to throw $175 innings. And even Jamison Tyone, that would be pushing it. So that's why adding another starter, and I've even mentioned 2, would be a good idea for the Yankees to get that depth, that protection down in the back end. Because if they do have somebody that falls or gets hurt, yeah, we have Manny Banuelos, we've got Clark Schmidt and stuff like that. But another dependable major league starter would really, really, really be come in handy for the Yankees. I mean, it really, really would. And so I'm hoping that the Yankees would consider trading for one of these guys. Both of them would be nuts. I mean, it's possible, but I think that Cincinnati's probably going to want to extract as much as they can, so they're going to try and trade them separately. But my guess is before the deadline, one of these guys will be wearing the pinstripes. And we'll see who it is. And keep in mind, even though Castillo's the more premier arm, he's also coming off a significant shoulder injury, and he's just starting his season up now. So that's something, obviously, you take with caution. So Mahle seems to be the more safer pick at this point, but obviously Castillo's the more high-end, high-ceiling pick. So, but we'll see. Either one of these guys would fit in the Yankees, provided they don't have to give up a boatload. I don't see them giving up, Oswald Peraza or their top prospects or anything like that for these guys. I just don't see it. I think they have plenty to get these guys one way or another without forking up somebody big time. So those are my 2 trade proposals with the Yankees and the Reds. You guys let me know what you think. Now let's get into this day in baseball history. Let me give you the first one in Yankees history. Okay, in 1913, the Yankees made They committed 8 errors in one game, and they still beat the Detroit Tigers 10-9 in 10 innings. 8 freaking errors, and they still beat the Detroit Tigers. So that's this date in May 10th in Yankees history. The cooler news is non-Yankees history. Okay, as we know, Hank Aaron has 755 career home runs. But on this date in 1967, he hit his one and only one inside the park home run. He's got 1 out of 755 that was inside the park, and it's today, May 10th. That to me is pretty cool. So those are my 2 dates in baseball history and in Yankees history today. So you folks, let me know what you think of that. Let me know what you think of the trades. Do you have any other trades you're thinking of that you think might represent a good fit with Cincinnati? Would you trade for either one of them? I want to know what you guys think there too, because it's a couple of my motivations is to keep them away from Toronto, Tampa, our division rivals, obviously, right? But again, add some depth to the pitching stable. The Yankees have starting pitchers to go down every single year. Thankfully, we've had the benefit of good health so far, but why risk it? Get the additional depth here so that the Yankees have some protection. And that's what I would do. You guys let me know what you think. Let's get into this one.